Tell me, do you watch my reactions? You will.
Well, hold on now. I mean, I think we all really knew the truth about this, but they were just trying to withhold it. But let's go ahead and jump to this article. So it says fans of Zack Snyder's Justice League just got a major acknowledgement. The viewership metrics on Zack Snyder's Justice League have never been fully clear, but Snyder's upcoming movie Brawlers has shed some light on the matter. I think real ones know, man. Day one, when we try to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, the whole HBO Max app crashed. I think we all know the numbers are good, but let's see what they talk about. The ambiguity over the streaming performance of Zack Snyder's Justice League has recently become much of a less question mark thanks to some early marketing for Zack Snyder's next movie. There has quite simply never been a superhero movie that has gone through the ringer and come out intact like Zack Snyder's Justice League. And its tale is one that seems like stuff of fiction. The Snyder Cut's debut in 2021 after a nearly 3-year push by Snyder fanbase with the hashtag Release the Snyder Cut. While the strong reception to the movie's release also swiftly sparked a new hashtag advocating for Snyder's planned Justice League sequel, which we still want to conclude his story. The one, of course, became hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. A common pushback on that desire of many fans is the new soft reboot of the DCU, in the works under James Gunn and DC Studios. And I've said this in I don't know how many videos. Us fans, a lot of fans, a lot of people would have been much more accepting of James Gunn's universe if Zack Snyder was allowed to finish his masterpiece. But we all know the past and what all's happened. So, but I've said that in many videos. Everybody, I would say everybody would be much more welcome to James Gunn's universe had Zack Snyder finish his vision. DC Studios taking DC on film in a new direction, while many detractors maintain that Zack Snyder's Justice League did not perform well enough for WB and DC to consider reviving Snyder's plans. Really? Okay. While the available, albeit partial, data on the Snyder Cut's performance doesn't paint the same picture, fans have also gotten a new bit of data in the press release for Zack Snyder's upcoming UFC movie, Brawler. In its brief synopsis of Snyder's filmography, the UFC's press release devotes a fair amount of space to Zack Snyder's Justice League, which it refers to as having garnered critical acclaim and widely successful cultural phenom, remains as one of the platform's most viewed films debuts. While not explicitly numerical data, the phrasing and extent to which UFC's press release for Brawler hypes up the Snyder Cut as a major success is the first real indicator of the movie's performance fans have gotten in a long time, not only indicating the success and longevity of Zack Snyder's Justice League as a singular movie, but further highlighting the exceptional difficulty Warner Bros. And DC have experienced in trying to leave the Snyderverse behind. You can't leave it behind. You can't. The fans are not going to forget about this. The fans are not going to forget. There's no leaving this behind. And and I've said this in other videos too, we're all for hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. But we also forget, well, at least me, we forget that David Ayer's Suicide Squad is in Zack Snyder's universe. So it's only fair that we get that Release the Ayer cut too. Because he's actually put out a few things on Twitter that showed that his Suicide Squad movie was a much different movie. I think he posted something about a scene where Joker's actually having a conversation with, not Batman, but Superman or something like that. I have to go back and look on there. But yeah, I was like, what? That's crazy. All right, but let's go ahead and jump back into this article. One thing that makes the conversation around Zack Snyder's Justice League a never-ending online back and forth is the incomplete puzzle of the movie's viewership numbers and sales figures on both digital download and physical media. I will say this. I think WB does not want to actually release the numbers because they don't want to admit they're wrong. Now, I may be wrong on that, but I think we all know that Zack Snyder's Justice League did numbers. Zack Snyder always does numbers, man. There's the ex-guy who used to work at WB said Zack Snyder never put out a movie that failed. His least performing movie was Sucker Punch. But everything else, he made a lot of money for the company. So we already know the numbers are good. We just need to know how good. And we know they good. The viewership data on the Snyder Cut's release on HBO Max since relaunch as Simply Max has only been given a partial picture via Samba TV, which only monitors smart TVs. Samba TV reported that Zack Snyder's Justice League amassed 1.8 million views in its first 4 days of release, with its first 39 days bringing in that total to 3.9 million views. Now, I think people also forget that the Justice League was like, what, 3-4 hours long? Not everybody gonna watch a 4-hour long movie. That's a long movie. I ain't gonna lie, I did, because I ain't have nothing to do the next day. So I watched all of it. I had me some snacks from Quick Trip, some donuts, some energy drinks. I was hyped. I had my Batman mask on, but I was hyped, boy. This indicates the Snyder Cut maintained a general strong audience on the platform, and while other subsequent HBO Max releases occurred higher views, the platform had also been expanded to other territories where HBO Max had not been made available at the time of Snyder Cut's release, provided some added context for the movie's window release. Additional data made publicly available also points to Zack Snyder's Justice League as a significant subscription drive for HBO Max. I subscribed. When I knew that was coming out, I subscribed. With Variety reporting that it helped HBO Max gain some 3 million subscribers in the first quarter of 2021, adding subscribers being one of the key factors in determining the value of streaming movies and shows like Zack Snyder's Justice League. Screen Rant also broke down the movie's popularity in the summer of 2022, including such data figures as the Snyder Cut performing historically well upon its debut on international streamers such as Canada's Crave and Australia's Binge, along with the movie performing strongly on home media as well as its digital release. Analyzing the exact viewership, performance, and sales figures of Zack Snyder's Justice League, it seems a more complex undertaking given the incomplete data available in the rather infamous politics surrounding the movie itself. Nonetheless, the available data makes clear that the Snyder Cut was a significant hit. The UFC's enthusiastic mention of the movie in their press release of Brawler, meanwhile, indicates that the success of Zack Snyder's Justice League is not only keeping the movie and Snyder's DCEU firmly within the cultural conversation, but also that the picture of the movie's popularity is gradually filling in gaps in the available data and becoming more and more clear. And that is the article for... Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, well, I don't think we need to read all this. Yeah, they're just talking about tweets and stuff. Listen. Anybody with common sense, and you know the famous saying, common sense ain't so common. Anybody with common sense, they know Zack Snyder does numbers, man. They know it. They just hate it. I mean, we just got James Gunn. We got a sneak peek of Superman yesterday, and I forgot to mention in the video, James Gunn had a lot of Zack Snyder takes in there. A lot of slow motion. You know, where'd he get that from? You know what I'm saying? So, we know Zack Snyder does numbers. I mean, the fan base raised over $1 million for suicide awareness. Or, I don't want to say that word. I'm going to have to take that word out. For S awareness, you know what I'm saying? They raised over $1 million for S awareness. So, we know. Deep down, we know. I think it's just the fact that folks don't want to admit they were wrong. But, we will see. James Gunn Superman comes out in July. And y'all already know my take on it. I think the suit is ugly. It's really ugly. I did like the boots, but the suit is ugly. The cape is cool. And you know what? I'm becoming a fan of the collar. But other than that, the suit is pretty trash. I've seen better cosplays. Fortress of Solitude was dope. And the way they disrespected Superman in that sneak peek where, you know, they made a parody of him pretty much, that gives you a good sense of the tone of the movie. So, we will see July 11th. I believe that's when it comes out. But, man, we know Zack does numbers, man. Man, restore the Snyderverse. Release the Ayer cut. I just don't get it. Just make fans happy. That's all. At the end of the day, everyone's goal is to make money. Am I correct? Everyone's goal is to make money. James Gunn could do his thing. Zack Snyder could be an Elseworld. Have him do his thing. Just like the Batman. The Batman's an Elseworld. Zack Snyder could easily finish his stuff and that'd be an Elseworld. But I don't think they want them to do that because if they compare the two and then Zack Snyder's does better than James Gunn's, which I personally think it would, I just don't think they want that. But we will see when July comes. When July comes, that will give us more clarity on things of what's to come and what's not to come. But I'm still a believer. I'm still holding out faith. They said the Snyder Cut didn't exist, yet it did. It just needed some touching up. So I'm still a believer. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I believe one day he will be able to finish his vision. I don't know if that's a day, 2 days, a year, 3 years. I don't know. But I do believe he will be able to finish his vision. I'm going to keep the faith. Hope y'all are keeping the faith too. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, man. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Do you think he'll be able to finish it? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this article about the numbers being a significant hit? Let me know in the comments down below. And I will catch you guys in the next one, man. 100,000 subscribers is ground time. Let's get it.